The Devil card. Ooh. The Devil card in tarot is often one of those cards that's lumped in as a scary card or something you just don't want to see in your spread. But I'm here not only to debunk that, but share how working with the energy of the Devil card can help you unlock your manifestations, i.e., why Capricorns are notoriously so damn successful. Hello, celestial beings. It's me, Mel, Pocket Mystic, and I'm on a mission to make mysticism more accessible and supportive through tarot readings, astrological updates, and guided meditations that fit seamlessly into your schedule. So if you've been following along, you know I have this series called Embodying the Tarot, where we work to embody the energy of certain cards that can help us call in or embody the life that we want. But today, what I want to talk about is not embodying, but working with the devil to help us unblock the subconscious patterns that might be preventing us from truly stepping into our dream life. When most people see the devil, they think of fear, temptation, or something bad. But in tarot, the devil is not a villain. He is a mirror. He shows us where we have handed our power away, often subconsciously, and where we are confusing control with safety. Now, astrologically, the devil is associated with the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. You can see the sign of Saturn in the devil's hand. And Saturn is the planet of discipline, structure, time, consequences, and maturity. This is important because Saturn, I think sometimes people think of Saturn as like a punishing sign, but Saturn isn't about punishing. It's about forcing you to look at reality, which can feel punishing at times, but it's about saying, hey, let's look at what's really going on. And Capricorns often get a bad rap for being harsh or unyielding or ruthless, but they're ruled by Saturn. They have no other choice, unlike other signs, but to confront reality in every moment and every day. But by doing so, they're actually able to understand where they've imposed boundaries on themselves and how they can remove or push those. That is the secret to their success. They face their own and others' limitations head on to create strategies for how to work with or around them. And whether you have placements in Capricorn or not, I actually have a stellium in Capricorn, though neither of my big three are there. You can still work with this energy. We can still work with Saturn. We can work with the devil card to help us understand that. Because the devil card asks, what are you committed to, even if you don't consciously mean to be? It's often our subconscious commitments that are keeping us from manifesting the lives we want. We might consciously be telling ourselves, I want to be good with money. But if your subconscious tells you, we are bad with money, then guess what? You'll continue to manifest being bad with money because you're committing yourself to it by repeating that story subconsciously over and over in your head. If you're subconsciously telling yourself that you only attract losers, well, guess what? There they are. And a lot of times these subconscious stories were created very, very early in our childhood. And that's why we're not even realizing that they're there. You know, we're noticing our conscious patterns, but we're not noticing these subconscious ones that have been so ingrained in us, we just don't notice them anymore. Our brains are hardwired to accept the subconscious patterning as fact, not what you're consciously telling yourself, what you're subconsciously telling yourself. And your brain hates cognitive dissonance. So your brain will make sure that whatever you're telling yourself subconsciously is fact. And that's why you keep repeating these patterns. But that's where working with the devil can help us to unlock the subconscious and free ourselves from these stories that are running our lives. It can help us to reprogram them. And I will have a guided meditation at the end to help us dive into our subconscious if we're not sure what's keeping us stuck. And if you want to skip to it, the timestamps are in the description. But first, we're going to dive into the symbolism of this card, Saturn and Capricorn archetypes. So let's start by looking at the Devil card. If you have your own tarot deck, it's great to pull it up. Of course, we'll have it here on the screen. Now, we're not going to get into all the symbolism of this card because we could be here all day or for weeks, years, I don't know. Anyways, but the first thing you notice when you look at this card is this sort of hulking figure, this goat figure with bat wings. He's got his hand up. His hand has the sign for Saturn, as we've talked about, and he has this inverted pentagram on his head. So in tarot symbolism, an upright pentagram represents spirit over matter, higher values guiding physical reality. But when we invert it, matter comes before spirit. The material world, desire, fear, status, or survival instincts take the lead. This doesn't mean it's evil. It means misaligned priorities. Under Saturn's influence, this speaks to the Capricorn shadow, defining worth through productivity, mistaking control for stability, confusing achievement with safety, believing we must earn rest, earn love, or belonging. It's kind of hard to not believe those things. You're totally programmed to believe those things in our society today, right? Although in 2027, we move on from the cross of planning, but that's a whole other story. So the inverted pentagram asks us, where has survival become our religion? What we devote ourselves to, what we dedicate ourselves to? Where are we just surviving? And then we have the torch. So on the other hand, the devil holds a torch pointed downward, not upward like divine illumination. Fire is life force. It's desire, passion, ambition. But when it's pointed downward, it represents energy turned inward, not expressed freely, but contained, suppressed, or distorted. So this is Saturnian pressure. It's ambition that's driven by fear. It's desire entangled with shame. It's motivation rooted in I have to instead of I choose to. Right? It's fear over desire. Now, the torch isn't destroying, it is smoldering. And here the devil asks us, where is your life force trapped in obligation, addiction, or over control? Now, let's look at the chains. Because at the devil's feet, hooves, talons, there stand two nude figures, a man and a woman, loosely chained to the pedestal that he is perched on. And the details here matter. The chains are loose. They could lift them off at any time. Literally, it would be so easy to pull them up over their heads and no longer be chained. And this is one of the most important teachings of the devil card. Oftentimes, the bondage we feel is easily escapable. Saturn teaches through responsibility and consequences, not through force. And these figures stay because something about the arrangement feels safer than freedom. The chains symbolize habits, addictions, be they emotional, behavioral, mental, toxic patterns, shame loops, over-identification with roles, fear of what happens if you let go. A lot of times we keep those because they make us feel safe and we're afraid of what life is like without them. The devil asks here, what are you staying loyal to simply because it's familiar? And then you'll notice that our two little figures are naked. They're stripped of pretense, status, or production. A lot of times, what is consciously or subconsciously, driving us is literally just survival, like we talked about. And when you're in a state of survival, it's not about pretense, it's not about status, it's not about production, it's about, I gotta go. And nudity in the tarot is often about truth and vulnerability. But here it's about being exposed to raw desire, fear, and instinct without conscious awareness. And the case of this Devil card versus the Lovers, which is the mirror to this card, these figures are naked in the dark. Their nudity is not about vulnerability. It is about their own truths being hidden, truths that lurk in the subconscious. They're hiding from them. And this is Saturn's lesson. Until we see our patterns clearly, we cannot change them, right? It's that famous Jung quote. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I like to say subconscious because unconscious makes me think there's just nothing there and your subconscious is trying to keep you alive. Anyways, but that is what is happening here. So whenever the Devil card shows up in your spread, of course, context matters, it's not about shaming you. It's about revealing where shame already exists, and it's about helping you to see that there is something that is blocking you, that is subconscious, that you need to dig into. Now, the Devil is perched on this pedestal, if you can call it that. It's not even really a pedestal. It's an elevated block. It's a false throne. And this is the subconscious authority. Saturn, the planet, governs authority, hierarchy, rules, contracts, long-term commitments. And the Devil shows us where our authority has been externalized, be it to money or work or success, relationships, validation, productivity, substances, or identities. The figures here are not ruled by the Devil because he is so powerful, lording over him. They are ruled because they believe he is. This is the Capricorn lesson in the shadow. When discipline is subconscious, it becomes control. Let me say that another way. When you put boundaries or limitations on yourself because you think they keep you safe, sometimes that is just our control at play, and it's not really about discipline. Now, let's talk about the goat and the Capricorn archetype. So this Devil figure has these goat horns, and the goat is Capricorn's animal, the goat. Okay, the goat is a climber, a builder, a survivor, and in the light side, if you want to call it that, that's where that, what I'm going to call divine discipline is, okay? That staying committed even when you don't feel like it, showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. That's where resilience lives. That's where ambition is. That's where mastery over time is. Having a goal, committing to it, and working towards it every day. But in the shadow, that's where we have rigidity, emotional suppression, fear-based striving, self-worth tied to output. The Devil represents Capricorn disconnected from soul, ambition without meaning, structure without joy, discipline without choice. So Saturn asks us to grow up, not to harden, right? It's about understanding where we need to push ourselves because our dreams require action, right? They're not just wishful thinking. There is action required. And sometimes we don't take that action because something in our subconscious is afraid of what happens when that desire comes true. And working with Saturn, working with the Devil card can really help to unlock all of that. So the core teaching of the Devil card is that it is not here to scare you or to shame you. It's here to ask you to bring what's subconscious into the light, to bring what's subconscious into your consciousness. And he does this by asking you, what am I devoted to? What do I believe keeps me safe? What am I afraid will happen if I let go? Where am I mistaking control for security? Where am I ready to choose responsibility with freedom? And remember, Saturn rewards honesty, maturity, and conscious commitment. Freedom doesn't come from rebellion. It comes from choosing your chains, choosing what you are going to be devoted to from a place of desire, or removing your chains altogether because they actually don't serve your desire, they serve your fear. That is freedom. Now, maybe when I asked those questions, you knew exactly what the answers were. You were like, oop, I know what this is. Or maybe you're like, Mel, I don't know the answers. And that's okay because like I said, so much of this subconscious programming that we have happened so early in our lives that we just kind of don't know another way, right? We just think it's the way things are. But either way, how you answer those questions, we can now move into a guided meditation to help you understand what is holding you back in this present moment and what's the medicine or action that you can take to help release the subconscious patterning. And as always, I'm going to prompt you to sit or lie down. But if you're neurodivergent, it might be easier to walk. But when I say close your eyes, of course, keep them open. Okay, let's begin. Find a comfortable seat or lie down if that feels supportive. Let your body settle into the space. If it feels safe, gently close your eyes. Take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, making a humming noise. Again, steady in steady out. One more time, allowing your nervous system to soften. Feel the weight of your body being supported by the surface beneath you. Nothing to hold up, nothing to perform. Now bring attention to your breath, natural and unforced. With each inhale, imagine that you're calling back your authority and power, your magic from anywhere you've left it or given it away. And with each exhale, imagine that you're releasing the need to be good, productive, or in control. Now imagine that you're floating somewhere in water or in space. You feel completely safe, held, and weightless. Feel yourself starting to slow down until suddenly you see a path appear before you, somewhere in nature. Take a step onto the path. Notice the wide open space around you and feel the ground beneath you, completely solid, grounding, and steady. You know that you are completely safe on this path. What does the air feel like here? What sounds do you hear? start to walk down this path, taking in the feel of the ground beneath your feet, noticing the light in the sky. Walk down, down, down this path. And as you walk, you start to notice that you are approaching a large tree. Take in the tree and its vastness. Notice its leaves or lack thereof. Does it have any fruit? And as you stand in front of the tree, notice that it has a door handle. What does this door handle look like? How big is it? Take the door handle in your hand. Feel that it is both cool and comforting. And then open the door. Inside this tree, there is a stairway down that is lit by torches. Start to walk down the stairs. Feel how the sturdiness of the stairs continues to support you. Feel how each step you take, your ego melts and dissolves. You feel more at ease and more comfortable in your own skin. As you take the last step, you see a large cavern that has those same torches lighting the space. And you see there are many doors in this cavern. Walk down the cavern and choose a door to go into. As you walk into the room, you see a large mirror. Walk towards it and look at yourself there. As you look at yourself in the mirror, you start to notice that you have chains on you, tying you to something. Step in through the mirror and into the version of you with the chains. Now gently bring awareness to your body. Notice if there is a place that feels tight, heavy, or restricted. There may be a sensation of pressure in your chest, your stomach, your shoulders, your jaw. Wherever you feel it, simply notice. Now look down and see a chain connected to that place. The chain is not heavy. It's not locked. It's simply there. Follow the chain with your eyes and see what it is attached to. This might appear as a word, a belief, a role, a habit, a responsibility, a relationship, an expectation, a fear, a memory. There is no need to analyze, just observe what shows up at the end of the chain. Now ask yourself gently, what has this given me? Safety, structure, identity, approval, predictability, even patterns that limit us once served a purpose. Let yourself acknowledge that without judgment or shame. Now ask, what has this cost me? Energy, freedom, joy, creativity, expansion. Notice what arises. Now notice the chain again. See how it rests loosely against you, wherever it is. See how you could easily pull it away from you and remove it. Ask yourself, is this commitment still aligned with who I am becoming? Is it something I want to stay tied to? And if it isn't, simply pull at the chain and watch as it turns to gel and then to liquid that gently floats down and absorbs into the ground, and see whatever it was chained to transformed into the medicine you need. Maybe it's a word of encouragement. Maybe it's a vision of life without this chain. Maybe it's a tool to help you. Whatever it is, pick it up and feeling it planting as a seed of promise into your body. Do you notice any other chains? Pause here and repeat the process for as many as you see. Now turn and look into the mirror that you came through and see yourself again. As you look in the mirror this time, you see your highest or best or favorite self. Observe them. How do they hold themselves? What are they wearing? What expression do they have on their face? And then hear them say, I am allowed to choose what I am devoted to. I am allowed to build my life consciously. I release what no longer serves my growth. I take responsibility for what I keep. I trust myself with power. Feel those words gently washing over you and settling into your body. Keep observing this version of yourself. Take a slow breath in, feeling space where tension once lived. Exhale, releasing any lingering fear or self-judgment or shame. See yourself in the mirror, smiling at you, approvingly and lovingly, thanking you for showing up for this work today. And step into the mirror and into that version of yourself. Grounded, aware, powerful, self-sovereign. And as you step into this version of yourself, see that you are transplanted back at the beginning of the path. Step into the water or space you were floating in before, and feel yourself gently moving into the stream again. Safe, held, weightless. Begin to notice your breath again. Feel the surface beneath you that's supporting you. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Carry this awareness with you. You don't need to break everything apart today. You've already begun the work by seeing clearly. Your brain is actively working to reprogram this old belief for you. Thank you for joining me for this. I hope that you found it helpful. I would love to hear more about it in the comments, and I'll be seeing you soon.